So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time that you are watching this video. I am Richard Taylor, and I'm coming to you about a situation that happened last evening at the Wayne County Board of Education's meeting. Last night I attended the monthly meeting. It was the first meeting of the year, and I witnessed something that is very disturbing considering the undertakings and the proceedings of these meetings. Now, I'm just going to give you the rundown real quick. Last night I attended, and in these meetings, right, people come up and they present certain agendas, they present certain contracts, right? And then the board votes on these yay or nay, whether we're going to approve the budget for this particular contract, we're going to approve the budget for this particular program, we're going to approve the budget for this particular undertaking, right? So last night, there was a couple of people who came up, right? And they came up with their programs, and they presented the information to the board, presented on how this is going to help. I think one was a school STEM program for the summer, and that program was voted upon. All in favor say yeah, and all opposed say nay. And that program went off and it got approved, right? And so the next individuals, they came up. I think they were outside entities, and they came up with their particular program and laid out how it's going to help the school system or the school board or whatever their agenda was. And that program, they voted on that program, and everybody stood up and applauded the acceptance of this program, and then they moved on, right? So now what was disturbing to me is the next item that was on the agenda, right? And they call who I now know is Dr. Carol Artis. Now she is the head of, I think, curriculum. Let me get her title: curriculum and instruction. She's the assistant superintendent, Dr. Carol Artis, right? So Dr. Carol Artis came to the podium, and you can watch this, by the way. You can go back and watch what I'm talking about on the website. But Dr. Carol Artis, she came to the podium, and she began to propose or present before this board an enhancement curriculum program for Goldsboro High School. Now, if you know about Goldsboro High School has underwent many challenges within the past few years. At one point, I think they were actually considering closing that school down. Even currently now, if you watch my video from yesterday, the current principal has been removed from his post. Even 4 years ago, before this principal came, the principal then was removed from its post. I think a couple of years ago, students wrote articles about that, how they had rats in the classroom, AC's not working. So this school has undergone a lot of issues within the past year. So this particular program that Dr. Artis was presenting was a program to saturate or to enrich the current curriculum that these Goldsboro High School students have, and supplement them in their attempts of improving their educational endeavors. Because as she mentioned, a lot of these students are inner city, they're underprivileged, so they may not have the 24-hour support that some students may have in other districts where they are receiving support outside of school. So this program enrichment was proposed for them to be placed for it to be placed in the school, and to give these students who are already facing numerous challenges some extra support, some extra enrichment, some extra enhancement to proceed in their studies. Now, almost even before Dr. Artis finished, the board members, they bombarded her with numerous questions on why or why not this program should be implemented in the schools. Almost before she finished, those guys had questions lined up. It was obviously that they had prepared to oppose this proposed curriculum enhancement for Goldsboro City High School. Like, it reminded me of the Supreme Court judicial appointment hearings where the Senate was questioning now Supreme Court Judge Ketanji Jackson Brown. I think that's her name. It was literally like an inquest or inquisition or almost an interrogation of this lady on why Goldsboro High School should receive this stipend to fund this program. And one of the members, I have to mention his name, one of the members who was adamant about asking these questions is Mr. Bill Joyner of District 4, Mount Olive, North Carolina. Now, his question, I have questions. How do we know this program is going to benefit the students? Like, I have a problem with throwing this a bunch of money around, and we don't even know have any data that this program is going to work. Now, Dr. Artis answered this question with as much tact and as much decorum and as much composure as humanly possible. She explained to him, like, look, this is a new program. We implemented this program in the middle of last year, or in the middle of this year, about 4 months after the school year started. So it's impossible to provide data to ensure that this program worked. But she reminded him that this program was implemented at Dillard, and since then they have boasted a 3% rise in their ratings or what have you. And then, he responded, well, I understand that, but, Goldsboro they only had a 1% rise in their standings. And, this is every time I ask for some data about, where the money's going, nobody can seem to give it to me. And, and I think this is my 1 year anniversary of being on the board. So nobody has ever given me any information. So he goes on. And once again, Dr. Artis, she once again explained her position that this is a new program. It is work. You have to give it time. But these are underprivileged children who need that enhancement. It has proven to work in other circumstances. There's no way we can get you any data. And, he goes on and on. I think they were going to have notepads and things like that. And he was like, well, what is it? What are going to be in those notepads? And what are going to be in those book bags? Are they consumables and things like he was going on and on about opposing this proposed enhancement of curriculum of Goldsboro, North Carolina, Goldsboro High School. And it was just amazing to me how, he could just oppose this without even considering the demographics of the school. And once again, Dr. Artis, she reiterated, I could hear it in her voice that she was getting frustrated. She was digging down deep to to answer this man's consistent opposition to this proposal. Like he went on and I just don't see the need to be throwing a lot of money around, and it's going to be ineffective. Now, once again, they haven't given the program a chance to be to see if it's ineffective. And you can watch on the video. You can go back and watch it. It's very earlier. It got to the point where I heard it in her voice that she was, giving all she had and trying to be as professional as she could, that once she stopped talking at one time, I was the literally only one clapping because I saw what they were trying to do to this lady. Now, mind you, once again, Mr. Bill Joyner II, let me not leave that out, is in District 4, and that is in Mount Olive. So keep in mind, Mr. Joyner is in Mount Olive, so he does not even know or even have any interest in the progression of Goldsboro High School. He doesn't probably even know anything about the particular demographics or the acute needs of this particular school. So why is he such in opposition to that money going to Goldsboro High School? And it is my only assertion is that he would want the money going to the schools in his district. Now, he was not the only one that presented a bevy of questions. I would be remiss to mention Mr. H. Lynn Henderson, who is actually the only African-American male on the board. Now, Mr. Henderson, he's in District 2, which is in Dudley, North Carolina. Once again, it has no bearing on Goldsboro High School. Now, here he chimes in with his opposition. Well, last year we spent, $100 and something thousand. I think it was $130,000 with Goldsboro High School. And, are you proposing that we spend $50,000? I think that the number was somewhere around 50,000. Are you proposing that we spend $50,000 in a 3-month time period? Like, I don't know about this. Now, once again, Dr. Artist, with all of the tact and the composure that one can humanly muster, answer this question with facts, with definitive statements to ensure that the basis for this program in Goldsboro, North Carolina, Goldsboro High School was laid forth. And once again, I worked with Mr. Henderson at the Carver Heights Elementary Reading Buddy program last year with interacting with the children. He seemed like a pretty nice guy. However, I have heard some things that are not too notable about him in regards to standing up for items like this, items that are clearly going to benefit their inner city school, which is a predominantly African-American school. So that was also sort of detestable to me, that he would oppose an initiative that would grant African-American students more opportunity to gain extra curriculum enhancement and enrichment and support in areas that they may need it where they may not be getting it otherwise. As Dr. Artist so eloquently put, that these children may not have the 24/7 support that other children may have in other school districts. So Mr. Henderson, he posed this question, and then there was another question. I think Wade Leatham or even Don Christopher West had some opposing questions to the agenda. I think they were supposed to be getting some notepads, and they were, are these notepads? Are they going to keep the notepads? Or, what's... So all of those individuals on this board showed a propensity and a proclivity to oppose things that are beneficial to the predominantly African American school in the district. Now, it got so bad to me, and you can watch it on the video. It got so bad to me that I could no longer take it. I was not able to stick around to see if they voted on that initiative. I literally had to, I stood up, and when there was a break in the action, I stood up when it was quiet, and I said, look, it seems like y'all don't want to give the black school no money. And then I turned around and walked out, because that was all that needed to be said right then. And I received a text message from a friend who was watching online, and she said, well, you tickle me. you so tickle me. But I couldn't sit idly by and watch this blatant opposition to a program that is supposed to enhance a school that definitely has some special and acute challenges, and to watch that blatant opposition, someone has to speak up. Now, mind you, Miss Patricia A. Burden, who is a long-standing figure in the Goldsboro educational sector, she is the current school board member for District 3. However, due to some health challenges, and I think she recently had an accident, she was not present at this meeting. And District 3 is the seat where Goldsboro High School is located in. So the one and only advocate that could advocate for this program to be implemented in the school that sits in her district was absent and unable to fight for the overall success and the progression of that school. And so once again, I think that is very asinine and egregious of the other members to just oppose something that they know without a shadow of a doubt is needed in that area. Now, keep in mind, District 3 is the seat also that I am running for the current Board of Education. The early voting starts next week, and I think goes until February 5th. There's a primary. I met Miss Cowan as well, who is my running mate. She's running as well. Very, very educated lady. I think she's a assistant principal at Carver Heights. We had a wonderful conversation, and she was at that meeting as well. But that is the seat that is open. So if you guys feel that I am the man and the person for the job, who is going to fight for these things for our inner city schools, which often goes neglected, which often goes indispensable, unincluded in certain agendas, as we see here, then cast your vote for me. But this is not about me. This is about Goldsboro High School, and once again, the board's outright benign neglect of this school. Now, once again, they were arguing about a $50,000 curriculum enhancement to Goldsboro High School, but they did not mention, or they don't oppose the nearly $500,000 that is being paid to the school board attorney, Mr. Schwartz, that has been exposed by my brother Ken Fine from the New Old North, how they are paying this attorney for items and litigations that he is not even needed in. Now, they had a previous school board attorney that didn't require nearly half as much as this Mr. Schwartz is requiring, and Don Christopher West is one of the biggest advocates for them keeping this guy. Many suspect that he may be getting kickbacks because of that relationship, or because of his advocation for them keeping Mr. Schwartz, as well as Not to mention his own son being paid thousands of dollars for doing landscape contracts for the schools, and not to mention the hundreds of thousands of dollars that has been paid for landscaping contracts, while they are opposing a $50,000 curriculum enhancement for students who may need extra attention in school. So this is what we have. This is my disappointment with this board. Many people know some of the past misdeeds of this board. And once again, the current superintendent, Dr. Witchard, is basically just a year in his tenure. And so this school board is fairly new. And I think even the one before that didn't last very long. But it's concerning to me when people like Bill Joyner and Mr. Lynn Henderson would vehemently oppose programs that will enhance students in Goldsboro High School while they are not even in that district. And so we have to ask ourselves why. Why are these, and once again, all of the challenges that Goldsboro High School has faced within these years, it is evident that their students need some type of enhancement or support or supplement to their regular curriculum that they're receiving. Nevertheless, I'm going to keep an eye on this. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, my number is 919-587-7782. If you have any information or if you just want to clarify some things, you can call me anonymously or unanonymously. That's a word, I just made it up. But yeah, you can voice your opinion about anything, any issue that you are also having with your particular school board or school system, school administrators, what have you. Because once again, it's not about me. It's about the overall betterment of the education of our children, which some people feel that is failing. And also not some people feel, the numbers show that is failing. So we can't put all the resources in one hat and then let another hat, fall by the wayside. So peace, love, and blessings. I've been Richard Taylor. Feel free to call me 919-587-7782. No matter who you vote for the school board, just go out and vote. That's all. Get involved. Peace and blessings.